One is the foundation of everything. Clarity. Listen, clarity is not just about knowing facts. It's about seeing reality for what it truly is, even when it's uncomfortable. When someone is playing both sides, when they sign a contract with one hand while secretly aligning with another, the first step is to see it clearly. Too many people get caught in the illusion, hoping that someone's words match their actions. But words are cheap. Actions are the currency of truth. Clarity means removing the rose-colored glasses and facing the situation without excuses. It means asking yourself, who is really committed? Who is honest? Who is aligned with my mission? Because until you answer those questions, you are stuck in confusion, giving power to someone who doesn't deserve it. When you achieve clarity, you stop wasting your energy on manipulation and deception. You see the hidden agendas, the double dealing, and the subtle ways people try to control outcomes for their benefit while pretending loyalty. That's where most people fail. They let the illusion cloud their judgment. They rationalize the betrayal. They think maybe they mean well. But clarity doesn't negotiate with excuses. Clarity identifies truth, even when it stings. And here's the exciting part. Once you see it clearly, you're no longer a victim. You're empowered. You can make decisions based on fact, not fantasy. You can redirect your energy toward people, projects, and missions that are authentic and aligned with your values. Clarity also gives you confidence. When you know who is real and who is playing both sides, you can act decisively. You don't stumble, you don't hesitate, and you don't second-guess yourself. Your focus sharpens because you're no longer distracted by uncertainty or manipulation. Every step you take becomes deliberate, powerful, and aligned with your purpose. And when you operate with that level of awareness, people who are divided in loyalty cannot shake you. They cannot influence your decisions. They cannot slow your progress. So clarity isn't just about observation. It's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from illusions and stepping into a space where your decisions are guided by truth, not by someone else's duplicity. Once you master clarity, you master the game because you no longer play by the rules of others. You set your own and you move with unstoppable momentum. Let's dig into point 2, because integrity is the cornerstone of real power, and without it, everything else falls apart. Here's the truth. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the dynamic task force but are secretly pursuing another agenda, they are showing you what convenience looks like without consequence. But you, my friend, you are in a different league. You have the choice to operate with integrity, to honor your word, to stand firm even when the world around you is playing games. Integrity is not a convenience. It's a commitment. It's a declaration that your actions, your promises, and your character are non-negotiable. The moment you prioritize integrity over convenience, you create a magnetic force that draws the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances toward you. People will respect you not because of your charisma, not because of your charm, but because they know your word is your bond. You cannot control the choices of someone playing both sides, but you can control your own. And when you choose integrity, you step into a space of absolute power. There's nothing more liberating than knowing you don't have to manipulate, you don't have to justify, and you don't have to lie to maintain your position or your influence. Integrity also fuels confidence. When you know that your actions align with your values, when you know that your commitments are genuine and honored, you move with clarity, with strength, and with an energy that cannot be duplicated. People who are divided in loyalty cannot touch your momentum because your foundation is solid, built on truth. And here's the critical point. Integrity is contagious. When you live it unapologetically, you inspire others to raise their standards, to honor their commitments, and to operate at a higher level. The world is full of those who take shortcuts, who negotiate ethics for convenience, who promise one thing while delivering another. But greatness, lasting impact, and unstoppable success belong to those who never compromise on integrity. So even when someone signs a contract with one side and plays another, you rise above, you honor your word, you uphold your principles, and you move forward with unstoppable momentum. Integrity is your shield, your compass, and your secret weapon. And when you wield it consistently, no duplicity, no deception, and no divided loyalty can ever hold you back. Let's dive into point 3, because this is where the real leverage comes in. Energy follows focus. You see, too many people get caught up in the games of others, especially when someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly pursuing another agenda. They try to manipulate outcomes, test your patience, and pull you in multiple directions. But here's the truth. Every second you spend on someone else's divided loyalties is a second stolen from your mission, from your growth, from your life's purpose. Your energy is the most valuable currency you have, and where you place it determines what you create, what you attract, and who you become. Focus is a choice. It's not just about deciding what to pay attention to, it's about intentionally directing your energy toward what truly matters. When you allow your attention to be consumed by someone else's duplicity, when you try to manage their games, you dilute your power, you lose clarity, you lose momentum, and you get distracted from the path that is meant for you. But when you consciously choose to focus your energy on your goals, your integrity, and your purpose, you create an unstoppable force. Suddenly, the noise of betrayal, the manipulation, and the double dealing fades into insignificance because your attention is too powerful to be hijacked. Energy follows focus, and this principle is non-negotiable. Where your mind goes, your life flows. If you pour your energy into exposing deceit or controlling someone who is playing both sides, you end up exhausted, frustrated, and spinning in circles. But if you channel that same energy into excellence, into building your mission, into mastering your craft, you become unstoppable. The universe responds to that energy, doors open, opportunities appear, and people aligned with your vision are drawn to you naturally. Here's the secret. You cannot control everyone else, but you can control your focus. You can decide where your energy goes, and that decision shapes your reality. Those who play both sides will always exist, but they only have power over you if you let them. When you master focus, you rise above the chaos, and every ounce of energy you invest multiplies your impact. You don't get pulled into the game. They get left behind. You become the player who sets the rules, moves with precision, and creates results that no divided loyalty can ever touch. Awareness is the ultimate form of power, because until you see the reality of a situation, you are trapped in its illusions. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the dynamic task force but are secretly pursuing another agenda, most people stay blind to the truth. They rationalize, they hope, they wait for the other person to come around, and in doing so, they hand over their energy and their power. But awareness changes everything. Awareness is not just noticing, it's understanding. It's perceiving clearly the motivations, the actions, and the intentions of those around you. It's saying, I see this for what it is, and I will not be deceived. And the moment you gain that awareness, you step into freedom. Freedom comes when you stop negotiating with lies, when you stop excusing deception, and when you stop giving someone else the power to determine your emotional state. Awareness allows you to set boundaries, to protect your energy, and to make deliberate choices instead of reacting out of confusion or frustration. It's the difference between being manipulated by circumstances and controlling your destiny. Those who operate with divided loyalties thrive on distraction and secrecy, but awareness strips them of that power. When you know the truth, you no longer waste time trying to convince, control, or placate. Instead, you act decisively and intentionally. Awareness also fuels confidence. Once you see the duplicity clearly, you are no longer anxious, doubtful, or hesitant. You move with certainty because your actions are guided by knowledge, not by hope or illusion. People who play both sides cannot shake your foundation because you are grounded in clarity. And here's the powerful part. Awareness is contagious. When you operate in full understanding of reality, those around you raise their standards, align themselves with integrity, and either step up or step aside. The world rewards those who are awake, alert, and intentional. Greatness is never achieved by ignoring reality or pretending deception doesn't exist. It is achieved by recognizing the truth, embracing it, and taking empowered action. Awareness is your lens, your compass, and your shield. It frees you from manipulation, deception, and confusion, allowing you to focus only on what serves your mission and your purpose. Once you master awareness, freedom follows naturally, and the momentum you create is unstoppable because no divided loyalty, no hidden agenda, and no duplicity can ever reach the clarity of your vision or the strength of your intent. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the Dynamic Task Force but are secretly serving another agenda, the world will test you. It will try to pull you into confusion, doubt, and compromise. But here's the truth. Standing firm is not stubbornness. It's strength. It's a declaration that your values, your mission, and your integrity are non-negotiable. It's saying, I will not bend for deceit. I will not sway for convenience. I will hold my ground because my focus, my purpose, and my power are too important to be compromised. Standing firm begins in your mind. You cannot be shaken by duplicity if you are unwavering in your beliefs and your intentions. People who play both sides thrive on hesitation, on doubt, on your second guessing. They believe they can manipulate you if you react emotionally or compromise strategically. But the moment you anchor yourself in your principles, the moment you commit fully to your path without wavering, their games lose all impact. You become untouchable. Their contracts, their promises, their hidden agendas cannot dictate your direction or steal your energy. Standing firm also communicates power. It sends a message without words. You are not negotiable. You are not exploitable. And your focus cannot be hijacked. When people see unwavering resolve, they either step up to match it or step aside. And this is exactly what you want. You don't need to waste time with those who are divided in loyalty. Your energy is too valuable. Instead, you direct it toward what matters, toward growth, toward alignment, toward results that reflect your vision and your commitment. Here's the ultimate insight. Standing firm is liberating. It frees you from the emotional roller coaster of others' games. It allows you to act decisively without hesitation because your decisions are rooted in truth and principle. You don't get distracted by manipulation or deception. You don't compromise your integrity for temporary gains. You rise above the chaos and move with unstoppable momentum. When you consistently stand firm, you redefine the rules. You become a force that cannot be swayed, a presence that demands respect, and a leader who inspires others by example. Greatness is never built on compromise with duplicity. It is built on unwavering resolve, clarity, and a refusal to be pulled off course. Stand firm, and the world will bend around your integrity, not the other way around. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the Dynamic Task Force but are secretly serving another agenda, words become meaningless. Promises, excuses, explanations, they all crumble under the weight of inconsistent actions. And this is where so many people fail. They focus on what is said instead of what is done. But here's the truth that will change everything. Actions speak louder than words, and results never lie. Your power, your influence, and your credibility are defined not by what you claim, but by what you consistently produce. In a world full of deception, where people try to manipulate with charm, persuasion, and contracts, it's your actions that set you apart. When you operate with integrity, when you honor your commitments, when your behavior aligns perfectly with your promises, you create an unshakable foundation of trust and respect. People notice. Even those who attempt to play both sides cannot deny the clarity, consistency, and strength of your actions. Your results become undeniable proof of your character and your mission. This principle is liberating because it shifts the focus from trying to control others to mastering yourself. You cannot control those who are divided in loyalty, but you can control your own behavior. You can ensure that your every action reflects your values, your purpose, and your uncompromising drive for excellence. When your deeds match your word, the world responds. Doors open, opportunities align, and people who are authentic gravitate toward you naturally. Moreover, Actions build momentum in a way words never can. Words inspire, but action transforms. Words can promise change, but only action delivers results. When someone is playing both sides, they talk a lot, but you don't get distracted by their rhetoric. You focus on doing, creating, and moving forward with relentless energy. Every step, every decision, every effort becomes a declaration of who you are and what you stand for. Remember, in the face of duplicity, your actions are your most powerful weapon. They cut through lies, bypass manipulation, and demonstrate your integrity louder than any speech or argument ever could. Greatness is not earned by talking about who you are. It's earned by showing it consistently, decisively, and unapologetically. Let your actions define your legacy, and the world will follow, respect, and align with the unstoppable force that you are. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the Dynamic Task Force but are secretly serving another agenda, it's a test of your authenticity. The world is full of people who wear masks, who say one thing and do another, who try to manipulate perception for personal gain. But here's the truth. You cannot thrive by pretending, by compromising, or by chasing approval from those who are divided in loyalty. Alignment with authenticity is not just a principle, it is a superpower. It is the act of showing up fully as who you are, with clarity, courage, and integrity, regardless of the games being played around you. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. You must know your values, your mission, and your non-negotiables. You must understand what matters to you and refuse to compromise that for convenience, fear, or manipulation. When you are aligned with your true self, every decision, every action, and every interaction becomes a reflection of that alignment. You don't need to guess the intentions of others or get caught up in their duplicity. You operate from a foundation that is unshakable because it is rooted in truth. Aligning with authenticity also sends a powerful signal to the world. People can sense when someone is genuine, when their actions are consistent with their words, and when their purpose is unwavering. Even in the face of betrayal or divided loyalties, your authenticity becomes a beacon that attracts the right opportunities, the right partners, and the right allies. Those who are real step up to meet you. Those who are divided are naturally filtered out. This is not about judgment, it's about creating space for what truly belongs in your life and mission. The energy you gain from authenticity is unmatched. You no longer waste time pretending, explaining, or compromising. You focus on creation, on growth, and on results that matter. You no longer react to the chaos of others' games. You lead with your truth. And here's the ultimate insight. The more you live aligned with authenticity, the more unstoppable you become. Your momentum is fueled not by the manipulation of others, but by the consistency of your purpose and the clarity of your actions. Authenticity is freedom. It is power. It is influence that cannot be bought, faked, or undermined. When you align fully with who you are no longer a participant in someone else's divided loyalties. You are the force that sets the standard, creates the impact, and moves the world in the direction of your vision. When someone is playing both sides, when they've signed a contract with the Dynamic Task Force but are secretly pursuing another agenda, it's easy to feel like the world is spinning out of your control. The manipulations, the hidden motives, the dual loyalties, they all scream for your attention and try to pull you off your path. But here's the truth that separates ordinary people from champions. You cannot control everyone else, but you can control your own path. Your destiny is shaped not by the chaos around you, but by the choices you make, the focus you maintain, and the actions you take every single day. Controlling your path starts with ownership. You must take full responsibility for where you are, what you do, and how you respond. Blaming the duplicity of others, blaming their divided loyalties or their contracts only gives them power over you. The moment you stop giving your energy to what you cannot change and start directing it to what you can influence, you reclaim control. Your decisions, your priorities, and your momentum become unshakable because they are rooted in intention, not reaction. When you control your path, you also protect your energy. People who play both sides feed on distraction, chaos, and doubt. They try to make you react emotionally, to chase after them, or to negotiate with deception. But when your focus is on your path, your mission, your growth, your purpose, their manipulations lose all significance. You move forward with precision, with clarity, and with unstoppable momentum because you are no longer a pawn in their games. Controlling your path also amplifies your influence. People notice when someone moves decisively, when someone refuses to be pulled off course, when someone demonstrates unwavering commitment to their vision. It inspires respect, trust, and alignment from those who are genuine, and those who are divided in loyalty, they naturally filter out because they cannot keep up with someone who knows where they are going and will not be distracted by their duplicity. The ultimate insight is this: your life, your success, and your impact are in your hands. No contract, no betrayal, no hidden agenda can override your commitment to your path. When you take control, you set the pace, you define the standards, and you create results that no divided loyalty can ever touch. Your path becomes unstoppable because it is driven by choice, purpose, and relentless focus. You are not reacting to the world. You are shaping it. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly pursuing another agenda, deception surrounds you. It tries to cloud your judgment, steal your energy, and slow your progress. But here's the truth. The only way to maintain power, clarity, and momentum is to rise above it. Rising above deception doesn't mean ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist. It means seeing it clearly, understanding its patterns, and refusing to let it dictate your actions or your emotions. It's about refusing to engage in games that don't serve your mission and choosing instead to operate from truth, integrity, and purpose. When you rise above deception, you reclaim your energy. Manipulation, hidden motives, and double dealing only have power if you allow them to. People who play both sides thrive on confusion, doubt, and distraction, hoping that their duplicity will force you into compromise or reaction. But the moment you refuse to play by their rules, the moment you step above their petty games, you operate from a position of strength. You no longer respond to deception with fear or frustration. You respond with focus, clarity, and action that aligns with your purpose. Rising above deception also builds resilience. It teaches you that no matter how cleverly someone tries to manipulate or mislead, your commitment to integrity, your awareness, and your focus are non-negotiable. It trains you to trust yourself, your judgment, and your mission above all else. And this is exactly what creates unstoppable momentum. When your actions are rooted in truth and your energy is protected, nothing external can derail your progress. Moreover, rising above deception inspires influence. People notice when someone refuses to be dragged into lies or games. They respect the strength, the discipline, and the clarity of someone who chooses to operate from truth in a world full of ambiguity. Your presence becomes a standard that others unconsciously measure themselves against. Those who are divided in loyalty either step up to honesty or step aside, clearing the path for genuine collaboration and alignment. The ultimate insight is this: deception only has power when you allow it to. When you rise above it, you reclaim control, energy, and momentum. You operate from authenticity, strength, and vision. You move forward with unstoppable force because you are no longer reacting to the manipulations of others. You are leading, creating, and dominating your life on your terms. Rising above deception is not just a strategy. It's a declaration that your purpose, integrity, and excellence will never be compromised. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly serving another agenda, deception becomes a force in your life. It whispers lies, manipulates perceptions, and tries to pull you into confusion, doubt, and frustration. But here's the truth that champions understand. You cannot control the dishonesty of others, but you can control how you respond. Rising above deception is not about ignoring it. It's about seeing it clearly, understanding it, and refusing to let it influence your decisions, your focus, or your energy. It's about maintaining clarity and momentum even when the world around you operates in shadows. Deception thrives on distraction. People who play both sides depend on hesitation, confusion, and fear to manipulate outcomes. They expect you to react emotionally, to question your path, or to compromise your integrity, but when you rise above it, you refuse to play by their rules. You stop negotiating with dishonesty and start operating from truth, alignment, and purpose. Every action you take becomes deliberate, intentional, and unwavering. You no longer chase after illusions. You focus entirely on results, growth, and excellence. Rising above deception also strengthens your inner resilience. It teaches you to trust yourself, your judgment, and your principles above the chaos others create. You learn that no matter how cleverly someone hides their duplicity, your clarity, integrity, and focus remain untouchable. You no longer get pulled into emotional drama or manipulation. You move forward with unstoppable momentum because your energy is protected and your decisions are rooted in truth. This principle also inspires influence. People notice when someone refuses to be swayed by lies or manipulation. They respect the strength, discipline, and authenticity of someone who refuses to compromise in a world of ambiguity. Those who are divided in loyalty either rise to meet your integrity or naturally step aside, clearing the path for alignment with genuine allies. The ultimate insight is simple but powerful. Deception only has power if you let it. Rising above it means reclaiming control, energy, and focus. It allows you to move forward with clarity and impact, leading your life on your own terms. You are no longer reacting to games. You are creating results, amplifying your truth, and building unstoppable momentum. When you rise above deception, you operate from a level of authenticity, strength, and vision that no double dealer, no contract, and no hidden agenda can ever touch. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly pursuing another agenda, it's easy to get lost in their confusion, lies, and games. But here's the truth that separates ordinary people from unstoppable leaders. Your truth is your power, and amplifying it is the ultimate way to rise above manipulation. Amplifying your truth means living, acting, and speaking in alignment with your values, your integrity, and your purpose, regardless of what others are doing. It means refusing to shrink yourself, pretending to accommodate deception, or diluting your mission for anyone's convenience. Your truth becomes a guiding light when the world is clouded by duplicity. When others play both sides, they try to manipulate perception, influence your decisions, and drain your energy. But when you amplify your truth, you create a force that cannot be ignored. People recognize it immediately. The confidence, the consistency, and the clarity in your actions speak louder than any argument or explanation. Amplifying your truth is not about confrontation. It's about authenticity. It's about refusing to negotiate with deception and choosing instead to operate from a place of power, clarity, and integrity. Amplifying your truth also protects your energy. When you act consistently with your principles, you stop getting pulled into the chaos of others' games. You no longer waste time, emotion, or focus on those who are divided in loyalty. Your energy becomes unstoppable because it is invested entirely in what serves your purpose and elevates your mission. This level of clarity and alignment creates momentum that deception cannot disrupt. Moreover, amplifying your truth inspires influence. When you live boldly and authentically, others are drawn to your certainty. Those who are genuine step up and align with your vision, while those who are divided naturally filter out. You create a circle of authenticity and impact, and in doing so, you build a foundation for long-term success and unstoppable momentum. The ultimate insight is this: your truth is your weapon, your shield, and your compass. The more you amplify it, the stronger, clearer, and more unstoppable you become. No contract, no betrayal, and no duplicity can override it. When you commit fully to your truth, you lead with power, inspire trust, and operate at a level that separates you from those who are divided in loyalty. Amplifying your truth is not just a strategy, it's a declaration that your life, purpose, and impact will never be compromised. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force, while secretly pursuing another agenda, your energy becomes the battlefield. They thrive on distraction, doubt, and emotional manipulation, hoping to pull you off your purpose. But here's the truth. Your energy is your most valuable asset, and protecting it is non-negotiable. Every moment you spend worrying about their duplicity, every second you invest in trying to control their actions, is energy stolen from your growth, your mission, and your momentum. To win in life, you must guard your energy fiercely and direct it toward what truly matters: your goals, your values, and your vision. Protecting your energy begins with boundaries. You must decide what you will accept, what you will tolerate, and what you refuse to engage with. People who play both sides rely on confusion and compromise to manipulate outcomes, but when you set clear boundaries, their games lose all impact. You no longer react emotionally or allow yourself to be drained by their hidden agendas. Instead, you operate with focus, clarity, and purpose, directing your energy where it creates real results and lasting impact. This principle also empowers choice. When you protect your energy, you choose your battles carefully. You no longer expend effort on people or situations that are toxic, divided, or misaligned with your mission. Every action you take becomes deliberate, intentional, and high leverage because you are no longer pulled into unnecessary drama. Your energy becomes a force multiplier, amplifying your productivity, influence, and results. Protecting your energy also strengthens resilience. Life will always present challenges, distractions, and people who test your limits. But when you are disciplined about where your energy flows, you are unstoppable. Manipulation, duplicity, and betrayal cannot slow you down because your focus is protected and your momentum is sustained. The ultimate insight is this: your energy is sacred, and how you manage it determines your impact. When you protect it fiercely, you create clarity, power, and unstoppable momentum. Those who are divided in loyalty or playing both sides will naturally be filtered out, leaving space for authentic allies, aligned opportunities, and genuine success. Guard your energy, invest it wisely, and you will operate at a level that deception, distraction, and divided loyalties can never touch. Your energy is the engine of your greatness. Protect it, and nothing can stop you. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly pursuing another agenda, it's easy to let their games drain you. They rely on confusion, manipulation, and emotional pull to distract you from your purpose. But here's the truth. Your energy is your most valuable asset. It's the fuel for your clarity, your focus, your creativity, and your momentum. If you allow it to be stolen by deceit or divided loyalties, you sabotage your own potential. Protecting your energy is not optional. It is essential. It is the difference between being stuck in chaos and moving forward with unstoppable force. Protecting your energy begins with awareness and boundaries. You must recognize where your time and effort are being wasted and take deliberate action to remove yourself from situations or people that drain you. Those who play both sides feed on distraction and emotional reaction. But when you refuse to engage in their games, you reclaim control. You focus on what truly matters: your mission, your goals, and the people who are aligned with your vision. This clarity alone amplifies your power because energy flows where attention goes, and your attention is no longer being stolen. It also requires discipline. Protecting your energy means saying no when necessary, limiting exposure to toxic influences, and refusing to negotiate your peace or focus for temporary convenience. Every choice you make about where your energy goes is an investment in your future. You are no longer a participant in someone else's divided loyalties. You are the master of your own path. Your energy becomes a force multiplier, propelling you toward results and opportunities that are authentic, aligned, and empowering. Furthermore, protecting your energy builds resilience. Life will always present distractions, betrayals, and people who test your limits. But when you guard your energy, you are unshakable. Deception, double-dealing, or hidden agendas cannot disrupt your focus. You move forward with confidence, clarity, and relentless momentum because your energy is reserved for what truly matters. The ultimate insight is this: your energy is sacred. Protect it fiercely, invest it wisely, and nothing, no duplicity, no divided loyalty, no manipulation can slow you down. When your energy is intact, your momentum is unstoppable, your clarity is unshakable, and your impact is undeniable. Guard your energy, and you will rise above all games, distractions, and deception to achieve extraordinary results. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force, while secretly serving another agenda, it can feel like the world is working against you. But here's the truth. Momentum is everything. Once you commit to your purpose, take decisive action, and refuse to be distracted by duplicity, your momentum becomes unstoppable. Momentum is not just movement, it's power, focus, and energy aligned in one direction. And when you cultivate it, nothing, no double dealer, no contract, no hidden agenda can slow you down. Unstoppable momentum starts with clarity of purpose. You must know exactly where you are going, why you are going, and what you will not compromise along the way. When your vision is clear and your commitment unwavering, you move forward with conviction. Those who play both sides may try to create doubt, distraction, or confusion, but they cannot compete with the force of someone who is fully aligned with their mission. Every step you take, every decision you make, compounds into power that cannot be reversed. Momentum also requires consistency. It's not enough to take a single bold action or to react sporadically. You must create a rhythm of excellence where your actions consistently reflect your integrity, your focus, and your purpose. When you operate at this level, people notice. Allies step forward, opportunities align, and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones. The double dealer's games fade into insignificance because your energy and your results are too powerful to be ignored. Rising to unstoppable momentum also demands resilience. Life will always test you, throw challenges in your path, and present people who are divided in loyalty. But when your focus is fixed, your energy protected, and your purpose uncompromised, you move forward regardless. Every challenge becomes fuel, every obstacle an opportunity, and every setback a chance to accelerate even faster. Momentum builds on itself, it compounds, escalates, and ultimately creates a force that can't be stopped or redirected by deception or distraction. The ultimate insight is this: unstoppable momentum is not about controlling others, it's about controlling yourself. It's about clarity, alignment, action, and resilience. When you combine these elements, you move like a hurricane of purpose, leaving no room for duplicity, games, or divided loyalties to derail you. Your impact becomes undeniable, your presence unshakable, and your results extraordinary. Once you embrace this level of momentum, you don't just survive the challenges of others. You dominate your path and achieve greatness that cannot be matched. When someone is playing both sides, signing a contract with the dynamic task force while secretly pursuing another agenda, it can feel like the world is trying to hold you back. But here's the truth. Momentum is your greatest weapon. Momentum is not just movement, it's power, focus, and energy all aligned in one unstoppable direction. When you commit fully to your purpose, when you refuse to be distracted by deceit or manipulation, your momentum becomes unstoppable. Nothing, no hidden agendas, no double dealers, no obstacles can slow you down once your energy, your focus, and your actions are aligned with your mission. Momentum starts with absolute clarity. You must know your destination, understand why it matters, and define the non-negotiables in your life. When your vision is crystal clear, distractions lose their power. Those who try to manipulate or play both sides cannot derail your focus because your mind is locked on what truly matters. Every decision you make, every action you take compounds your power and accelerates your progress. Momentum builds exponentially when your purpose is unwavering. Consistency fuels momentum. One bold action is not enough. Momentum requires disciplined, repeated actions that align with your goals, values, and vision. Every step forward, no matter how small, adds to the force of your movement. When others are caught in games, excuses, or divided loyalties, You are moving relentlessly, building results, influence, and impact that cannot be ignored. The world responds to action, not intention. Momentum turns effort into exponential results, creating a force that overwhelms obstacles and amplifies opportunities. Resilience is the secret ingredient. Challenges, setbacks, and betrayal are inevitable, especially when others are playing both sides. But each obstacle you overcome adds fuel to your momentum. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, every setback a lesson, and every moment of adversity an opportunity to accelerate forward. Momentum compounds. It grows, escalates, and eventually becomes unstoppable, making you a force that no manipulation, deception, or divided loyalty can touch. The ultimate insight is this: unstoppable momentum is created by clarity, alignment, consistent action, and resilience. When these elements come together, you become unshakable. You don't just move forward, you dominate your path, inspire others, and create results that leave no doubt about your power and purpose. Once you commit fully and cultivate momentum, nothing in the world can stand in your way. Listen closely, because this is where everything comes together. Life will always present people who play both sides, who sign contracts and then act in contradiction, who try to manipulate, distract, and divide your focus. And yes, it can be frustrating. It can feel unfair. But here's the truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Your power is never in controlling others. It's in controlling yourself, your energy, and the trajectory of your life. You have the ability to rise above duplicity, to protect your focus, to amplify your truth, and to create unstoppable momentum. That is where true mastery lies. When someone plays both sides, their choices reflect on them, not you. Their contracts, their promises, and their hidden agendas cannot dictate your value, your integrity, or your results. What you do with your awareness, your energy, and your actions determines the trajectory of your life. Every challenge they create is an invitation to rise, to act with clarity, courage, and consistency. Every act of deception becomes an opportunity to reaffirm your principles, amplify your truth, and demonstrate that nothing external can shake the foundation of someone who is committed to excellence. The ultimate victory comes when you refuse to be pulled into their games. You refuse to compromise your integrity, your focus, or your mission. You rise above confusion, manipulation, and distraction. You stand firm in your purpose and act decisively, consistently, and unapologetically. That is how momentum is built. That is how influence is earned. That is how greatness is created. When you live aligned with your values, protect your energy, and move with unstoppable momentum, the world cannot touch you. No divided loyalty, no betrayal, no hidden agenda can diminish the force of someone operating at this level of clarity and power. Remember, your life is not about others' duplicity. It's about your commitment to your vision, your alignment with your truth, and your willingness to act relentlessly. Every step forward compounds your power. Every decision rooted in integrity multiplies your influence. And every action taken with purpose accelerates your momentum. When you live this way, you no longer just navigate challenges, you dominate them. You don't just survive the games of others, you rise above them, inspiring those who are genuine, filtering out those who are divided, and creating a life and legacy that no one can ever touch. So take control, amplify your truth, protect your energy, and move forward with relentless momentum. Greatness belongs to those who refuse to compromise. And when you operate at this level, you are unstoppable. You are unshakable. You are a force the world cannot ignore.